Hi everyone, it's Andy Carley here from School Outdoor Learning. This is Soul Interactive. The task we're going to introduce you to today is called Ring of Confidence. It's a fantastic team building exercise that will test teams in a number of different ways. It will test their ability to coordinate and be organized, but more importantly, it will test their communication skills to the max. So setting up the task is pretty straightforward. You'll see that all we've done is created a simple tripod in the center using sticks, and that acts as a really good, solid, stable point for the ball to be rested at the beginning. Then you can see our preference is to use a chain ring. You don't have to, you can use rope very easily and attach to that, but a chain ring works really, really well because it's quite solid but can collapse when it's not under tension, which causes the ball to become a little bit more unstable and adds some really good challenge in there. And then we've got 8 ropes all coming off in a star configuration, and by pulling on the ropes uniformly you create a nice round chain which will support the ball. And you'll see that we've got 8 ropes here, but each one is obviously, instead of people, we've got metal stakes representing the people instead. So the rules for Ring of Confidence are pretty simple. From the moment that the ball is lifted up in the air, then everybody has to remain in contact with one rope at all times. What's also really important is the ropes can only be held in the loops that you create at the very end. This creates distance away from the ring, which actually provides a lot of the challenge. Don't let your participants wrap the rope around their hands or their waist or arms or anything to shorten the rope. It makes it miles easier. Okay? And then from the moment that they've lifted the ball, and it remains above the ground, and the ball, the chain and the ropes aren't allowed to sag, and nothing can touch the ground. That's really, really important. And then you're going to send them on a course, which we'll talk about in just a second. So then the essence of the task is how you construct your courses. The simplest way we find is to just have a number of mats or cones with numbers on 1 to 5, 1 to 6, whatever you want to do. Stage 1 of the task would be for them to move from the start point to cone number 1. When they get there, all they have to do is work together to lower the ball to touch the apex of the cone. When they've done that, then they can lift again and then move on to cone number 2, number 3, etc. So you can have these as spread out or as close together as you like. You can have them in some quite difficult areas, corners of buildings and around trees and things like that. So you can really add to the challenge through the complexity of the course that you actually set up. And obviously at the moment we've got all of the ropes in a lovely star configuration, which means that we're all pulling evenly, the chain is in a nice circular shape and the ball rests really easily on top of it. But as soon as we start to move down narrow corridors, or we go up inclines or downstairs or whatever it is you want to do, you can do all sorts of complex things with it, and that's when they really have to think about how they're going to coordinate themselves, because the ball becomes much, much more unstable. Oh, hello. The great thing about Ring of Confidence is there's all sorts of ways that you can flex and adapt it to either increase or decrease the challenge. One brilliant way is by blindfolding a couple of members of the team, and they have to be guided throughout by sighted members of the team as they move around the course. Oh. Another fantastic way is, instead of having a rope or chain ring, you can actually make it elasticated, so a bungee version. So this means that this has to be kept under tension the whole time in order to make a cradle large enough for the ball to actually rest on. And finally, one other thing to try is to insist that all members of the team remain silent. There can be no verbal communication whilst the ball is actually in transit. And of course, you've got all sorts of flex about how you alter the course to make it harder, easier as well, and where you actually send them. So there's 3 key areas of learning to focus on for Ring of Confidence. The first is the team's ability to collaborate and coordinate their effort, to work together to be effective. The second one is their communication. How well can they channel their communication so they're not all talking and shouting at the same time and listening to one another effectively? And the third one is, what impact does failure have when they are forced to restart, go back to the beginning and start again? So that's Ring of Confidence. Great task. A few things just to finish off with. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it really simple in terms of the apparatus that you use, setting up the ropes, etc. Have the largest ball possible, and that makes the biggest challenge. And then go make some courses and have loads of fun with it. As with all of the tasks, we're going to provide for you the written instructions. So you're going to have a facilitator brief and a team brief in there as well. To access those, you just need to click on the link underneath the video here, and you'll be able to download them for free and use them, hopefully, in a really meaningful way. Please subscribe to the channel. Please keep liking what we do. More videos to follow very soon. Thanks very much.